Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Coach Lorianne, America's #1 take action success coach and strategist, empowering, educating, inspiring, and igniting people to take action with jet propulsion. If you want more information about what we do, please reach out to us at ldcstrategies.com, and we'd love to have a conversation with you. Our goal here at Healthy Lifestyle is to empower minds, educate hearts, inspire action, and ignite success so you can choose to have a fulfilled, healthy, emotional, spiritual, and physical life, to live the life you have always wanted and dreamed. Today on our show, we have our guest, Connor Kelly. He has been on with us before. I just want you to know that we're going to talk about tap dancing. He's been tap dancing since he was 7 years old with his aunt as a tap teacher. His aunt was a tap teacher, and he trained at Jamie's Dance Odyssey under the direction of Jamie Down, and later on with Robin Passmore, who brought him into the rooms with people like Jared Grimes, Harold Cromer, Derek Grant, Jason Jonas, and so many more. I mean, just amazing people in the tap dance world. Today, we want to talk about the Philly Tap Festival that's going on right now as you're listening. So you want to go down and check out this tap festival. But welcome to the show, Connor.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fabulous. I'm having a great day. How about you?
I'm good.
Good. So tell us about the tap festival and what's going on. Hello, who is this?
This is my daughter, St. Clair.
Hello, St. Clair. You're so pretty. So that's good. I love having two people here. This is great. So tell us about the Tap Fest, Connor.
Well, the Tap Fest is going on right now. We hosted a jam session last night on Friday, November the 1st. And, oh man, this might be
Good.
And, yeah, so we're out here spreading tap and hoofing culture through the lens of Philadelphia. And yeah, we got plenty of classes going on. And tomorrow night on Sunday, we have a little showing of what the students have learned throughout the weekend, and a couple companies from surrounding areas like South Jersey and Philadelphia performing. And of course, myself and other teachers will be guest starring in the show.
That's awesome. That is really great. So you said there are a bunch of classes and they can come down. First of all, where is the Tap Festival? Obviously, it's in Philly, but where in Philly?
It's at a building called the CEC, the Community Education Center. It's right on the campus of Drexel. And yeah, it's a historic building for tap dance. A group called Tap Team 2, which is one of Philly's biggest like tap companies to come out, used to practice there with LaVon Robinson, and a lot of people like Buster Brown and like very notable legends came through there to teach classes and stuff like that. It's not really a tap studio anymore, but it hosts a lot of tap dance happenings.
Yeah. So you have an idea of what's happening today, what's happening tomorrow. If you just want to go down it a little so people know, should they bring their little kids to see it? I mean, I encourage bringing, because your daughter taps.
Yeah.
You them on your Instagram at it's Connor Kelly, Connor Conner Kelly. Your Instagram, it's amazing. I've seen her tapping. It's so adorable.
Yeah. So for both,
And she's going to be what, 2 in December?
She's going to be 2 in December. Yeah.
Amazing. Already tapping. Look at that.
She doesn't know. She doesn't know a world without tap dance, because she's there from the beginning. You know, she was at all my shows,
Beautiful.
all my classes, all of that. But so we're having like master classes with myself, Brian Davis, Robert F. Burden Jr., and we have different levels, like advanced level, and then intermediate level and beginner level.
Mm-hmm.
And for the passes, like if you take the class with me both days, you're going to be learning maybe a combination or something to present on Sunday at the end.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of like a work in progress as we, go throughout the classes. And it's not really going to be, a whole lot because we're just learning it pretty much in 2 hours. But what we are focusing on is like what kind of musicality we're working on. Hopefully, we have a live band and stuff like that.
Yeah, we have so it's a workshop, and then you're going to then they're going to present what they learned in the workshop. So that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
That's pretty amazing. And our St. Clair, she's trying to get in on the whole show here.
He's
It's
amazing.
all good. Don't worry about it.
I apologize.
It's all good. Don't you worry about it. So it's so exciting. So let's talk about how you came about doing Philly Tap Festival, because this is what, year two?
Well, it's officially year one for the Philly Tap Fest because the first year we did it, it was the Brewery Town.
Oh, that's right. Last year it was.
And so I was working with another woman named Pamela Hetherington with the Philadelphia Jazz Tap Ensemble. And since then, I have not been working with the Philadelphia Jazz Tap Ensemble. Not any bad things. I'm just not. And
At this time, that's all.
yeah, at this time. And a guy from actually Washington who moved to Philly, he went to U Arts and he met all these Philly people and joined the tap team too. And then he moved to New York. So him, Catherine Schweingruber, who is a Philadelphia native, and Corrine, Robert, like all these people are now helping me um, host the thing and like and get all the gears turning and whatnot.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, I'm sure there are people out there who are inspired by this, who are coming down to the festival from yesterday, today, tomorrow. Um, what inspired you to get involved in this?
Ah, man. It wasn't so much of getting involved in it, it was getting everyone else to get involved because I just needed something to happen because I'm not well when I'm feeling stagnant or like I'm not putting something out. Like I heard a good quote the other day and it was like, you don't want to finish your life full of things. You want to have the output so that when you're done, you're empty. You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
put everything out. So I think
yeah.
that was kind of like my thoughts when I came back to tap dance after all those years, and I was like maybe feeling a bit like I underachieved or like I had to make up for lost time.
Okay.
And so I really had to do something, and the people I was around was Philadelphia tap dancers, and I said, why is there nothing going on right now?
Right.
And so I really had to just say the word and get people excited to want to do this thing. And now year two, I think we've already like we broke even, and you know what I mean. We're not losing any money, and
Perfect.
it's yeah, it's a dream come true, honestly.
That's perfect. That is so perfect. That it's revenue neutral is good. Maybe by the end of the weekend you'll have a different result. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's it's a really good start, especially for year one. That's amazing when you put a festival together. There's a lot of work behind putting a festival together, but I know there are aspiring people out there who are interested and intrigued by tap and wanting to start. I'm feeling like that it's like resurging. Are you getting that too in your industry? Does it feel like it's a resurge, or has this just been going on and just coming to my attention as a non-tapper and you don't want me tapping?
You
It
told
ain't
me
pretty.
about the story
It
about
ain't pretty.
that. So there's like, there's two timelines going on for people who love tap dance. It's never gone away. Like if you're 70 years old right now and you've been tap dancing the whole time, it's never went anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think the main thing that people don't see is that it went out of popular culture because the tap dancers, Bojangles, Bilbo Jangles Robinson, and like there's so many to name, but they were their pop stars. You know what I'm saying? In that
Yeah.
era, and they were with the current music of like big band jazz, from ragtime to big band jazz to regular jazz, and like that was their current music at the time. So when the music shifted, tap dance still remains true to its roots of jazz.
Yeah.
So the unpopular part about it is like the music that isn't popular. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
And
But
so it never
there's
went anywhere, but it is difficult to, even for me, to say like we will have to dance to like, it doesn't complement it. You know what I mean? It's like playing, I don't know. It's like playing a cello in like a rock and roll song where it's not going to be heard the right way. You know what I'm saying?
Potentially, if you don't use it properly, you have to use it properly. So the any interjection of cross musicians, cross music instruments, cross talent like dancing,
Yeah.
it really has to be utilized and it has to be the right music in order for it to connect. So, and you need to connect to it as a dancer. I know for me as a singer,
Hmm.
if I don't connect to a song, it's really hard for me to sing it.
Yeah.
Not technically really hard, but really hard because I'm not delivering it with the same passion that I deliver other songs that connect me. And it's
Right.
usually the musical lines. Sometimes it's always the words, but sometimes that musical line, it might be just a bass line in it or something in it that just sends me. And when watching you tap, especially on your Instagram, it's Connor Kelly. It is very clear that you are just getting in the moment with the music. You know, it's just amazing. Matter of fact, I recently saw one that you posted. It might have been this week, and you were with a group of people. Did you just teach them those steps and then you recorded it, or I sometimes I feel like you just record all the time. It's amazing the amount of stuff that you put out. You have a lot of output.
Um, I wonder which one was it. It was like younger girls, probably.
Yes, yeah, yeah. You were
Okay,
the
yeah,
center. You were tapping.
yeah. That was, I teach class 4 times a week. You know what I mean? Every weeknight, pretty much. And sometimes we do something that I think is cool, and I say, "Is this all right if I record it and put it on Instagram?" And they say, "Yeah." So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was
It looks like you have a lot of fun when you do this.
tap
Like when
dance.
you're tapping, you look like you are in heaven. You are in your happy place.
Yeah, I mean, it's my life. It's everything for me. It really is like life. I could go as far as to say it is life or death for me. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
my spirituality. It's everything. It's how
How
I
is it your
meditate.
spirituality? What's that connection? What's the connection to universe, God, source with your tapping?
For me, I think it's really about, it's not every time. Every time you meditate, you don't reach nirvana or something like that, but you're working towards finding that flow state. And I, as a tap dancer, mainly focus on improvisation. So being comfortable, practicing in front of people, improving, like speaking my thoughts freely through my feet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
It it's like an internal work to free your mind in order to like express freely in front of people.
Yeah. Well,
So,
a number one thing important, and it's important to me when I'm working with clients, is being fully present. And in order for you to really channel that and do improv, you need to be completely present in the moment, really taking the input of the moment, not what happened 5 minutes ago, not what happens in 5 minutes, but exactly what's happening in the moment that you're in. Also to connect to the music. I also saw another one on your Instagram where they're doing a jazz improv, and then you're taking it, and then you're just like, give me a second, and you just go and you just improvise what I believe is an improvisation. I thought it was, and then they went back into the music and you guys reconnected again. That was just totally beautiful because I know that the difficulty, the challenge that it is for that to connect so perfectly in the moment aspect. And you did it as though it was like No big deal. I do this all the time. It was really cool. It was really cool. That must make you feel good. So my connection when I'm singing is, and I don't know if you have this feeling, I'm going to try to explain it, is when I'm very present and I'm singing, all of a sudden things come out of my mouth that I was not thinking of doing. I just kind of just go with whatever I'm feeling. And that's when I feel most connected with the universe, God, source. Is that kind of what happens with your feet?
From time to time. I mean, it's like if I'm
It
being
doesn't
honest,
happen all the time, but when it
yeah,
happens, I'm like, oh, look at that.
yeah. If I'm being honest, I'm very judgmental of myself in the moment. You know what I mean? And half of the time, it's not until afterwards if I like see footage of it or something. I was like, okay, that wasn't bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That was pretty good. I literally like I said, I teach 4 days a week and I practice 7 days a week. You know what I mean? So I'm
yeah.
like, I'm constantly sharpening my tools so
Right.
that when it's time to use them, I can feel more comfortable like doing all that. But it's
Reaching into, that's why practicing is important. The greats practice all the time. So same thing with you. You're constantly honing your tools. You're constantly, making sure that they're better. I'm going to back up to something that you said. I can't help myself. I have to have a coaching moment is you need to speak nicely to yourself. If you don't speak nicely to yourself, who is going to speak nicely to yourself? So I will say this. You would never say some of the things you say to yourself to that beautiful daughter of yours, right? You would
correct.
never say
Yeah.
that to universe, God, source, right? But you're saying it to yourself. It's the same as saying it to universe, God, source, because we are all from universe, God, source. So I'm going to challenge you and encourage you, and I make suggestions, you make decisions. But decide to try to speak nicer to yourself. And when you start thinking that, I want you to just stop for a second, delete that thought, and try to look at it from a different element of, can I do better? Absolutely. Was that my best work? Maybe not, but you still were there, you were present, you were working on it. And that some people sit on the couch and don't do what you're doing. So you should congratulate yourself and notice the good stuff more. I know I used to do that. I was critical, horrible to myself, just horrible to myself. And when I allowed myself to look at it from okay, and be my own cheerleader, if you will,
Mhm.
I found that my increase of capacity and my tools got significantly better because I wasn't like squeezing it so tight because I was being so critical. Now, there's nothing wrong with trying to analyze it to make it better, but in the appropriate way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I
Yeah.
think, yeah, I don't want to come off like that. I mean, I'm very critical of myself, but I also have, I work on not having an ego at the same time because I can, I get a lot of praise for what I do and I do well at what I do. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
do, but I think sometimes I'm like evening it out because I'm like, all right, if I'm like getting all this hype, then I'm gonna like make sure someone's gotta be hard on me. So maybe it's me. you know?
Well, you know what it is it's you want to keep your feet grounded and you need somebody to keep your feet grounded and you're trying to do both. But you need to really understand that you're very talented, but could you be better? Could you get better? Absolutely. And
Yeah,
that element, what you're reaching for, in my estimation, being a performer, is keeping me on my edge so that I continue to get better. Otherwise, we're like, oh, we're so great, blah, blah, blah.
yeah,
And I don't think that about my voice. I'm like, to me, it's nothing special, but to your point, you get the compliment and it feels real good. But at the end of the day, I know I need to work harder. And that's the humble, that's the staying, from the gift from God is allowing us to share this gift that we have, right? With Him,
yeah,
with us, and with our families, with our friends, and with other people, and make them smile by doing it. So being kind to ourselves is part of that gift. And I don't think you have the capacity to do that over ego kind of like I know everything kind of thing because you're always looking to learn and you practice 7 days a week. The people who don't practice 7 days a week are the ones who might get stuck in their ego. I don't think you have to really worry about that based on my observations of you, Connor. You're very humble.
yeah. I try to remain biased in all aspects of life almost.
Yeah.
So I like to. Hi, St. Clair. Go get your apples. All right. Yeah, I just try to remain non-biased to myself, non-biased, and all I really have to do is watch an old clip of one of the masters, and that brings me right down.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's the thing I tell myself all the time. There are people who are way better than me. And that means I have to continue to do my work. And I'm not comparing and contrasting. It just helps me reach my bar, like raise
Yeah.
my bar. You're constantly raising your bar. And we should do that. For us to be better, we have to constantly raise our bar. That's why you have coaches, to constantly lift that bar up and say, okay, you reached that. That's great. I have a client who gave me what they wanted to make in the year, and I was like, sandbagger, because she's already made it in October. And I was like, sandbagger. I was like, wait till we do the numbers for next year, dude. We're gonna up those numbers big time. So that's the raising of the bar. She wasn't sandbagging or anything like that. She did really good work during the year and ended up
Mhm.
making more money faster, which is a beautiful thing. That's what we want to do. But that's challenging ourselves, and that's what we're talking about. So you are listening to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. We're here with the great, wonderful, unbelievable tap expert Connor Kelly, talking about the Philly Tap Festival that's going on right now as we're talking about it. So get down to the Community Education Center on Drexel College and come and join Connor. He's going to be able to teach you if you have any interest in that. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I am Coach Lorianne, America's #1 take action success coach and strategist. If you would like to be a guest or lift up your business or product or non-for-profit, or if you have a question or comment, reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Email us at healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. That's healthylifestylewithla@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. We've got a lot of suggestions that we have implemented and had guests on because of you. So please reach out. We would love to hear that. In the meantime, we are speaking to our tapping expert, the unbelievable tapper, Connor Kelly. You can find him on Instagram at It's Connor Kelly, Conner Kelly. We're talking about the Philly Tap Festival going on right now as we speak, as this show is airing. And, we talked about people who want to take classes during this festival, right? Anybody else can come down who's going to be able to take advantage of the festival?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, we have beginner passes, intermediate, but also like the jam session last night. We have live musicians, a lot of jazz musicians come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
So they can
especially,
come, a musician can come down and jam.
yeah, 100%.
Like if I come down later today, I can come down there and do a little scatting.
Yeah, definitely. We should do that.
I might
But
just
yeah,
do that, my friend.
not to mention we have Manny Chacon who does step dancing, and
Yeah.
that's open to everyone to take that class. It's kind of like a little special extra class, but yeah, he's like, because it's body percussion, so it's like all in the same feel. And yeah, he's here, and that was a huge hit last year at the Brewery Town Tap Dance Festival.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love something that you said when we were talking. You just really want to see where putting on your shoes and making music can take you. Talk more about that. Like talk about that heartfelt center that you feel when you put on those shoes. It must be magic. It's like putting a microphone in my hand and putting a band of musicians behind me that are awesome. You just feel it. You just want to go, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the big scheme of things, I think tap dancing could take my family, myself, all my loved ones to a next level up. You know what I mean? Just every day, every week is like filled with opportunities because I put my shoes on. And yeah, there's always a lot of stuff cooking, you know what I mean? And a lot of I got used to like opportunities either not going through and not being so like bummed out because I now know that there will be more. And like, so like going through with TV producers for 3 times, you know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
for like, the big shows and
If it's meant to be, it's going to
yeah.
happen. Universe God Source has that, they got you.
Yeah.
And I think that's the important element of that.
Yeah, it's also a balancing game of, I'm doing a lot of physical activity at my age. I just turned 32 on the 10th
Oh my God, you're so old. Should I
October.
give you a walker?
I mean,
Stop it.
I gotta balance out like how much pressure I'll put it on my knees. You know
Sure.
what I mean? Like stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it's athletic. It's like a
Yeah.
football player. You have a certain window that you can do certain things, and then after that, you have to be careful because you don't want to blow out your knees, and you want to
Yeah.
make sure that you're able to continue doing what you love with the passion. I know my father played trumpet. That was his main axe. He played all instruments but the harmonica. For some reason, he's like, nope on the harmonica. But he played trumpet till the day he died. He just played every single day. He would practice every single day. When I was in his house and I didn't hear the trumpet, I'm like, "What's going on, Dad? You sick? What?" And he's just like, "No, I'm getting to it. It's just not in my, you're out of my schedule right now." So, or he
Yeah.
would sit around, but he always played every single day because you have to keep up your tools. You have to keep, your embouchure up. You have to be able to continue to do what you do, and that's just amazing. Plus, it warmed his heart when he was playing. That was his happy place. So
100%.
it's your happy place. I know my happiest place is singing. There I love doing it. Whether or not somebody else likes hearing it might be a different story, but I love singing. So yeah, it's like I can't help myself. Matter of fact, I remember as a kid, we would drive in the car, my mom and I, she would drive this little Fiat. So it's a little tiny two-seater car. She'd put the music on. She would be talking to me, but I was singing harmony to the music that was on. And she was used to that. She would talk and ask me a question. I'd stop singing and answer her question, then go right back into singing with it. And so it was just what we did. And then she was singing with it and blah, blah, blah. And we would be talking in between singing. It's not
Yeah.
like we weren't listening to each other, but it's just what made us really happy. So, and what's better than that is having family members doing it with you. So like when I watched you and your daughter tapping, you would do something, she would do something. So that's just so heartwarming, so heartwarming. I mean, how does that feel when you watch your baby girl tap with you?
I don't know. I mean, it feels amazing. I just don't know another life would look like. So it's just like every first for her is almost a first for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
I
uh,
do. You're
it's
seeing the
very,
world through your daughter's eyes. That's the
yeah,
magic of children, is you actually can see the world through another set of eyes. And it's so beautiful. It's so innocent. It's just fantastic. And it's so they just there's no criticism there. There's no bad talking to themselves. They never fall down when they're learning how to walk and go, I'm just so dumb. Of course
yeah.
they don't. They just get up again. They're like, okay,
Mhm.
let's try that again. So, and I love that about watching little I call them squishies, little ones, 7 and below, they're still in
Yeah,
the theta mind. They're still like sponges. You could teach them everything. Don't underestimate a little one because they are sponges in a theta mindset. So
yeah,
mindset where we just take it all in. They are in the present. They are that's why you'll watch them and they'll be frustrated 1 second and perfectly fine the next. They'll be screaming bloody murder 1 minute and then perfectly content the next. That's
mhm,
theta. That's being in a theta mindset. And that's what we all as adults want to be in. That's why we meditate. We try to get back into that theta, into that just being open and in flow, as you put it, not only dancing. And I think that's where we get when we're just connected, both to the music and what we're doing. Like when your feet are connected with the music. Do you ever feel like that it's almost like the music is moving your feet and you're not?
yeah. I think something is moving my feet. I don't know. Like, I think everything is connected.
Yeah.
It's all like you said, meditative, and I said flow state, and like I live tap dance, and I tap dance life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
Yeah.
everything is through the same lens. And like I think about timing, as in good rhythm, as in
Yeah.
patience. You know what I mean? Like all those things make are like the same five things to me because tap dance is like teaching life lessons and vice versa.
It's
For
a metaphor for discipline too, isn't it,
yeah,
though?
I'm
Yeah.
not that disciplined, but yeah, it is for sure.
You have to be disciplined to be a dancer. Sorry, hate to say that, but you have to be disciplined because you have to be disciplined enough to practice every day. So there's an element of discipline in that. It may not look the same, but that's the creativity. So
Mm,
there's not discipline can't be confused with the element of creativity, right?
right.
So you need to be in a flow to be creative. You need to release all those restrictions and say no restrictions. I'll say, let me write your permission slip so that I take that restriction away from you, to be able to do what you do. But there's
Yeah,
discipline involved in it, there's that you have to stay disciplined to stay within the music, within those bars.
yeah,
That's a level of discipline. You could be tapping in, 1/16 and that's not where the music is. So that
yeah,
that doesn't work. That makes us all jumpy. It's like, wait, what's going on? We have a
yeah.
what's going
For
on here. And that's something that when watching your the pieces that you put up on Instagram, that's when you just see it. You could just see it. I could see the love that you have for it. Like it just oozes out of you.
It's even better live. So you should
Yeah,
definitely check it
yeah,
out sometime.
I'm sure. So you teach. Talk about your teaching. Like, what is it that you love about teaching?
I love teaching kids. Um, as a bad teacher, I guess I like to teach kids who love to learn.
Yeah,
I really, really enjoy that, and I do get frustrated at times when I have to teach people who maybe think that it's like a mandatory thing or like someone, you know what I mean? I sometimes question why maybe no, because the older kids even like sometimes they'll be there and I'm like, this is not like public school. You don't have to be here. No one's forcing you to be here. You know what I mean?
yeah. Sometimes it's someone else's idea. It's like, mom or dad
Yeah,
want a tap, but they send the kid instead of, and it's not what's in their heart. So they need to do what's in their heart. So what do you do when someone's not 100% present? St. Clair.
um, so for a majority of my classes, I definitely I have enough kids in there where I can inspire. Plus, there's always for younger kids, the need to like fit in and be a part of the bigger group and stuff like that. So I challenge those who want to be challenged in order to like let that trickle down to inspire the kids to be inspired by the other kids.
Yeah.
But also as a tap dancer, like it's an independent form where you have to I like to teach people to teach themselves in a way. So because you're not I'm teaching you steps, I'm teaching you musicality, I'm teaching you eighth notes, quarter notes, you know what I mean? Stuff like
Yeah.
that. But the thing doesn't come until you do it yourself, like almost on your own. You know what I'm saying? That if you
So you're allowing them to find their own style is what I'm hearing?
well like my teachers would tell me like that the masters would say, do not tap dance like me. You know what I'm saying? They would say, that's me. You do you. I'm not gonna do that. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like no one wanted to be the same.
Yeah.
So it was almost a lot different than popular culture is today because it seems the opposite, like everyone wants to be whatever. So it's going against that grain, but yeah, I definitely tell the ones who are super interested or maybe even considering being a professional dancer, like never try like absorb until you can do it yourself. But
Right.
you know what I mean? Get all the information and copy and then but keep practicing on yourself because
And find your own rhythm.
yeah,
Yeah, I get that. And everybody should do that no matter what you're doing, is you learn from the greats. You copy until you don't have to, because then you find your own way and you
yeah,
find your version of that. And that's your best version of that. And that's what you're supposed to teach and or do. So, but that must be difficult because I know you do shows on Broadway and things like that. When a choreographer wants everybody to look exactly the same, that must be difficult when you are so stylistic, because you are very stylistic. So what happens there? Do you run into issues with that, or are you able to, make everything look the same? if need be.
Wait, rephrase. Are you saying for me or for my students?
For you, when you go dancing, when you're doing like, let's say a Broadway show and the
Oh, like if I'm
choreographer
doing
is
like an
looking,
audition or
yeah,
something? I mean, yeah, it's different. And the tap, I swear tap dance is different than everything because it's like I know everyone, I probably know 90% of people in the whole entire world who are taking it serious. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I think every other tap dancer knows that same group of people who's taking it serious. So I think, like you said, how like to bring it back to the beginning, it is unpopularized right now. So then when the little things that are strictly tap dance happen and they're throwing an audition, I think those people are already aware of each style that they want. You know what I'm saying? Each
yeah,
person who's doing it already has their style or
yeah,
they're the mentee of someone else who's doing that exact style. You know what I mean? So you
yeah,
know like what you're already getting as a tap dancer if you're hiring another tap dancer. It's not I don't think like a real audition, like I don't think anyone could come out of nowhere right now and be like, "Oh, who are you? I never even heard of you." You know what I mean? It's just so
yeah, yeah.
like,
Well, that's in your industry. I mean, it's a big industry, but yet it's not. We
yeah.
know everybody who needs to be known. I know when I used to be auditioning for different shows, we knew each other. We knew each other's capability. We knew each other to say, oh, they have the proper range. This one can dance. That one, not so much. So, uh, so yeah, I totally understand that there's no expectation as far as that, but that wasn't my question. My question is like if you go for an audition and you have a choreographer who wants all the dancers on his stage or his or her stage to be dancing the exact same way, do you have that ability, or you're so stylized that it's not going to happen for you?
No, I think it's like I'm not flexible. So, I mean literally like bodily. I'm not like flexible to the point where I can like put my leg up like this. But I think it's like you take your artistic, you take the direction of who has ever given you choreography and you make artistic decisions with that.
Yeah,
But it's not, I don't think I will fit in well as like a line dancer. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. You're very stylized, and that's a compliment because you
Yeah.
found your own style. And it's just like when if you put something over your face and people were dancing, I'd be able to pick you because I've been watching you for a while now. I would be able to pick you out of a lineup easily because I know your style. It's like Gregory Hines. I know his style as soon as I see him. I know his style. I know, the older tappers. I'm gonna kind of get into the older tappers like a Sammy Davis Jr. When if you covered their faces, I would still know who was dancing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the younger version of Gregory Hines,
Savion.
Sabian. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be able to pick up Sabian in a heartbeat because I just know the style, the way he moves his body is very, very specific. So, is it more men in this industry than women? Because I just had an oh my goodness moment because I just named off a bunch of men, but I'm sitting here going, what women do I know that tap dance?
Yeah, so like the whole history of it is very hard to uncover because it wasn't documented well because it's African American history. And so like there are like so many uh talented masters that were women. Jenny Legrand. There was so many, right? And but the males shine more, I guess because they were male. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Back in the
maybe.
day. You okay, mama? And yeah, so nowadays there are so many, like my mentor Robin Passmore and Chloe and Maud Arnold, who do syncopated ladies, and they're like really, putting on big, big shows to inspire young girls to tap dance. And
Yes.
Darina Dixon out of Chicago, like she's one of the best tap dancers in the world. Like there's so many. Michelle Durance, who did the thing at the White House. They did the Christmas thing last year, I believe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's a genius. And literally she won the genius grant. And yeah, so like there's a, especially like they're more in the front now, I think. But like, yeah, the old masters, there was a lot of women that didn't get like the same amount of fame, just
And right.
as the African Americans didn't get as much fame as Dean Kelly and Fred Astaire. I think that was just a systematic thing, you know?
Yeah, well, it was, yeah. So listen, society changes and society rolls forward. Thankfully, we're moving forward. It may be at a glacial pace, but we're moving forward. I don't think it's as bad as maybe it's made out in the media, but
Yeah.
I think that I see more equitability at this point, and that it's based on your capabilities, not on what you look like, you know.
Mhm.
So I was never that twiggy girl, right? So I could never get the twiggy girl parts because I had a shape. I was very curvy. And so, you get typed at the time, you got typed in. Now, not so much. It's really cool because it's like, oh, okay. It's cool. As long
Yeah.
as you can dance it and sing it, we don't care.
Mhm.
The rest will follow. So yeah, it's so funny because I was doing a play out in Hampton, out here on Long Island, and I'll never forget this costumer who came out from the city, and she was doing the costumes for everyone. I happen to be the lead in the play, the female lead in the play, and she's going down and she's giving all these beautiful costumes to all these other women and the other women in the play, and she got to me and she goes, "I don't know how to dress your figure." Because I wasn't like, a little toothpick. I had curves. And so she kept trying to put pencil skirts on. Women listening will understand this. My body is not shaped for a pencil skirt in any way, shape, or form. So maybe more so now than ever before because of what I'm doing. But I will tell you that that was not a good look for me. So, and she just didn't know how to do it. So I actually ended up doing a lot of my own costuming, and I was just like, bring A-lines in. I'm an A-line girl, bring A-lines in. And so when she finally started doing that, we were good, but totally get it. You need to understand you understand your body and understand what you can do. So it's also interesting. Again, Philly Tap Festival was yesterday, today, tomorrow. Are you have plans to do it again next year around the same time?
Yes, 100%.
Awesome, awesome. Any last thoughts? Any action that people can take listening to the show in our last minute?
Be patient, but go after it.
Yeah, practice, practice. Follow your dreams, my friend, right?
Be patient, but still go after it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. Connor, it is a pleasure to have you. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you and for you for putting together this Philly Tap Festival. I know it was a dream of yours. It's happening right in front of your eyes, right as we speak. I need to let you go so you could go back and do what you do. Give that beautiful baby girl of yours a big hug and a smush for me. And we will have you back to talk about how it went at the festival another time. So thank you again for being on.
Thank you so much.
And thank you all for joining us today on Healthy Lifestyle with Lorianne. I hope we earned the privilege of your time. Again, I want to thank our guest today, Connor Kelly. You can find him at It's Connor, Conner Kelly, on Instagram. Look for our show next Saturday, as always, at 3 p.m. on JVC Broadcasting and iHeartRadio. We also can be found on all major platforms and would be so grateful if you please like, follow, share, and subscribe. In the meantime, until next time, I am Coach Lorianne, America's #1 take action success coach and strategist. Let your dreams be bigger than your fears and let your life be filled with joy. Have a great day. See you next week.